Hi guys, this is Shiva Reddy. Welcome to the session on Jenkins. In this session, we are going to see the introduction of the Jenkins and set up the Jenkins in our local computer. First, let us see what is a Jenkins. So Jenkins is an continuous delivery and continuation integration tool, which is going to help you, the developer, to simplify the development process. As nowadays, all the software industries are moving toward the agile process, which means there is a continuous delivery will happening at the same time. The continuous integration of the application needs to be take place. In order to support these two features, the best support tool is going to be the Jenkins. What typically Jenkins is going to do is the Jenkins will always look for the common repository where all the developers are committing the code to the central repository. From there, it will start the building and build the application to make sure that whatever the latest commits happening to the central repository server does not breaking the existing functionality. This is very important because whenever any commit done by the developer having some issue, then it is always good that we can find early stages of the development instead of at the all the development completes and then we are trying to put in the building the application. Hence, see, Jenkins is going to be very helpful to build the to automate the build process, and also it can help you to integrate the test cases. It can run the automatically, it will run the test cases, unit test cases and integration test cases as well. Jenkins is developed in the Java and it is a open source and it is going to support the cross platform, and it is a web application which is written in the Java. So hence it will come by default comes as a WAR file. Now there are two ways you can use this WAR file. One, using the Java console, you can go ahead and use this application, or you can directly, if you have any applications or the web server, then you can go ahead and download this WAR file, then you can use the Jenkins. Before we go and install the Jenkins, let us see the diagrammatic representation how Jenkins is going to work. Now let us consider there are a couple of developers who is going to work on a project with the different modules, and all the code is going to available in the SCM. Either it might be a Git or SVN or some other source management tool. Now what Jenkins is doing, Jenkins what it can do is it can automate the build scripts based on the timestamp, or you can specify based on the some event. That means each developer, when they commit happen to the central repository server, after 20 minutes the Jenkins has to run the build, then it is possible. So those type of configuration it can be supported in the Jenkins. Now what Jenkins is going to do is Jenkins will take the central repository code and it is trying to build your application, and it is going to make sure that it is not build it is not it is going to tell you whether the build is going to success or failure. In case of failure, then you can send a notification to the set of developers who actually break this build. Those type of email notification configuration is available in the Jenkins, and also it can provide you a sequence of steps to configure, so that each step it is going to monitor and tell you the status of the each step you configure there. That means first you are going to build the application, then if you want to try to run the unit test cases, and then you are going to run the unit integration test cases. Then all these things you can specify sequentially in the Jenkins. Then whenever Jenkins try to run this code using the any build tools like a Ant, Gradle or the Maven or Git repository tools, then it is going to specify where it actually having the where it has failed, and with the failed status about the what is the exception occurred at that point of time. So those details will be provided by the Jenkins. And also, once a build is happening, then you can move that var or er file to the required destination. Either it may be a development server or the QA server. It can automatically copy those files to the required destination. And also it is going to support the email notifications about the status, and also If you want to any report with respect to the test cases, what are the part of the test case it has run and it is failed, then those type of things it is going to be supported in the Jenkins. So this is the high level functionality of the Jenkins. Now let us go ahead and set up the Jenkins in our local computer. First, in order to set up the local computer, the prerequisite is going to be you need to install the latest version of the Java. It is should be greater than 1.5, 1.5 or greater than version, and then you can install the latest version of the Jenkins. So in order to download the Jenkins software, go to the this website jenkins.io and click on this download Jenkins. Now here you can see the long-term support. This is the version you always better to take this version and select the 2.7.var. This is at this point of time, this is the latest version, but later point of time, if you feel another one version is the latest, you can go ahead and take that as a latest version of the var file. Now click on it, it automatically download this 2.7.1 var file. As I already downloaded this one in my local computer, so I am not going to download again. So, but before you start proceeding this video, make sure that you downloaded the Jenkins WAR file. Once it is done, make sure that you already have the latest version of the Java installed on your computer, or at least which it should be a Java 1.5 or the greater version of it. And now you can run the Jenkins WAR file using the command java hyphen jar, and you can specify the jenkins.var. Click, hit enter. Now it starts installing the jenkins.var file and try to execute, and it is going to make sure that the application is available at the browser using the localhost colon 8080. So this is the default port where this once this Jenkins starts application started, then you can access this one using the localhost colon 8080 port number. It is trying to run the all the Jenkins application. So let us, it may take the another few seconds. Let us wait for it. Once it ups, then once the Jenkins up, it is going to say the message like Jenkins is up and running fine, fully run and up and running. So we will see that message. Let us wait for few more seconds. It is still running. Let us wait for few more seconds. Yes. Now, if you see here, Jenkins is fully up and running. So that means our application is available. So you can access this one using the local host 8080. Hit enter. Now for the start of the application, it is going to takes time and it is asking for the unlock Jenkins. So this feature is actually added recently from 2.3, I guess, from the version, because in order to make sure that whenever you are installing the Jenkins, it will create a one admin user, and you need to make sure that you need to pass the correct password to unlock this process, proceed further. How you can get the password is there are two ways. One is you can go to the console where you have started the command, and here you can see that Jenkins initial setup is required, an admin user has been created and a password generated. So this is the password you need to enter here. Okay, so click continue. this is the basic step of the installation to verify the authentication process to make sure that have the better security. Now it will start up with the initial screen to proceed further. It is still loading. Yeah. It comes with the getting started and customize the Jenkins. So earlier I told, right, this is a Jenkins will provided Jenkins will support the various plugins. So just what you need to do is before you need to work with the any tool, like it might be a Ant or Git or SVN or Gradle, Maven. First you need to add that plugin to the Jenkins, and then you can use that tool in this. Hence, what you can do is it has the install suggested plugins, because Jenkins will tell you the few of the plugins are frequently used in this particular Jenkins application. Hence, by default, what it is going to say is it is going to come up with a few of the plugins, and it is going to suggest it that by default you can go ahead and use this, and later point of time you no need to again go ahead and manually download and put in when it required. Because most of the time what you are going to do is either you may be working with the Gradle project, that is the reason it included the Gradle plugin. You may work with the Git SVN as a Git as a source control management, that is the reason it is already given the Git. And also Ant, if you are working with the your project as a Ant as a build tool, then it will be a Ant plugin. And if you are using the Subversion, if you are working with any type like a SVN as a source control system, then Subversion is going to be plugin. And these are the few of the plugins which actually frequently used for the Jenkins. Hence, it whenever you are installing the Jenkins itself, it is going to come up with a few default plugins it might require, so that later point of time again no need to download. Hence, it is going to take a few seconds to complete all the downloads. But here point is that make sure that whenever you are running this particular this screen, you need to have a internet connectivity, because if you see here in the console, whatever the plugins it is specified in the screen, it is trying to download from the internet at one time. So next time onward it won't ask, because this is part of the installation. So whenever you install the first time only it will ask, and those will be available in the cache for them. Next time onwards it won't ask. So this is a one-time activity where you need to select the list of suggested plugins, and those will be downloaded. Hence, make sure that you have an internet connectivity. We are proceeding with this before you proceeding with this video. And I think most of them are done. Only 5 are left. Let us wait for a few more seconds so that those plugins also will complete. Then we can proceed with the further installation process. So this I am installing Windows as a service, and another way you can install the Jenkins is using the Tomcat. As this is the WAR file, you can directly go ahead and deploy the WAR file in the Tomcat and you can get started. Those things we are seeing in the next tutorial, but at this point of time, I am trying to show you how to install the Jenkins using the command. Okay, how to run the Jenkins application as a Windows Java command, and even we can see further how we can mark this one as a service for the Windows, so that every time no need of actually going to the command prompt, you can run it, because that will be automated as a service, so that whenever you restart the computer, then automatically Jenkins will start automatically. Okay, so I think most of the things are done. Still one, two, six are there. Let us wait for few more seconds. It is now downloading. I think it is still downloading. So this once it is completed, So what now we are going to do is we need to create a first user as a admin. So I am creating a user Shiva, and you can give any password, and this is also you can confirm the password, and you can give full name anything, and I can give a test at the rate of gmail.com. Just I am giving a random number, random email number, but you can provide the email valid email address. Now click on save and finish. Now this is going to move to the next screen, and where you can start the Jenkins. This is the initial screen where you can once the installation everything completes, then it will come here, and you can come to this screen. So we are going to look at all the other details later, but what I can tell you here is, as we are installing on the Windows, go to the click on the manage Jenkins, and here we have a flexibility to make the Jenkins as a Windows service. So click on install as Windows service URL, and now it has provide you need to provide a directory where it needs to install the Jenkins. So click on install. Now what it is going to do is it is going to create a service in the Windows services for the Jenkins. The main advantage of this one is going forward you no need to start this service from the command prompt. Instead of that, the Windows automatically will taking care of starting on restart of your computer. So now in order to see whether it is installed or not, go to the Windows services, and you can see here Jenkins. So just now we started, it got started. So this is how you can use the Jenkins as a Windows service. With this, we have completed the installation part of the Jenkins in the Windows using the WAR file. Okay, next tutorial we are going to see how to install the same Jenkins application as a through the Tomcat application server, how to deploy and how to work with it. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please comment on my YouTube video, and please do subscribe to my YouTube channel for getting the more technical updates.